Well, got Dairy Lunchables over here.
Ah.
Product placement.
Sponsored by Dairy.
Dairy Lunchables.
I never had those. I never had those weird kind of like school snacks. I don't know if like we couldn't afford them or whatever, but like our parents just didn't buy them. Everything we had at school as a snack was either made by us or crisps.
I've only ever done as an adult. I'm repressed.
Yeah, catching up.
I'm rolling.
Yeah, rolling too.
Question mark? Why not?
Question mark?
There's Doritos in my shift key.
What? What the...
So I couldn't do a question mark. All right. Well, I'm drinking water out of a glass.
What do you want me to drink it out of?
A bottle, the tap, cupped hands. Is it
downstairs.
so much to ask? Well, do some. You do like a Hot Wheels plumbing pipe racetrack all the way up to your room. Then you twat.
Nothing's ever good enough for you, is it?
Well, I just
You've got such high, lofty standards with your Dorito keys and your cigarette inhalers.
It's like the worst place for cigarette ash, but there you go. You know that thing you do when you're gasping for oxygen? Yeah, fill it with carbon. Just fill it with carbon monoxide or whatever it is. It's all good. It's all. Oh yeah. The lolly drumsticks.
Yes, they're really good.
Apparently they're milk.
What?
It's milk flavour.
Bollocks.
Like milk bottles.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere.
But even milk bottles don't taste like milk.
Exactly, yeah, but I'm an intellectual, right? So these are the articles that I've been researching into. Is apparently drumstick is milk flavoured. Original flavour is milk flavoured. So, milk bottles don't necessarily taste like milk, but it's probably like milk flavour, right?
They were just shit at what they did then, weren't they?
Yeah, just put milk in it, you cunt.
Just, I mean, you can't put you can put whey in it.
There's whey milk.
Protein lollies.
Yeah, drumsticks for kids. Handing out protein supplements on Halloween.
Yeah, we always used to have those little what were they? Like Tom and Jerry candy sticks, and you pretended you were smoking.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
they're like something pencils or something, candy pencils. But yeah, they were like cigarettes.
Yeah.
You
don't see them anymore. It's probably because we used to pretend we were smoking.
Yeah, all those kids died.
Yeah. They got cancer from Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, it's a unique slow burn for the kind of antics that those two got up to.
Yeah.
So yeah, drumsticks, apparently they're milk. Fun fact of the day. It's a new segment. Milk.
Great.
So yeah, how's it working out for you, this drinking water out of a glass then? Tankard, especially.
Good, actually. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You feel like
it's too hot. I can't have coffee. It's just, this office. And like now the weather's getting hot again. It's just fucking. It's dreadful.
It's dreadful. So you need 330 millilitres of water.
I need 568 millilitres of water.
Well, that's pathetic, Steve.
That's a
pint. You need to drink more. It's like celery, right? Like it burns. You probably burn through more water just from drinking.
It. It's got no calories in it, has it? It's got no nutrients.
No, but you need water for other stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
Otherwise, your eyes probably need water, don't they? Otherwise, they'll just dry out.
Yeah.
And fold inwards.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I've just come back from the baths, and it's the first time that I've ever taken the swimming baths.
The baths.
Yeah.
Put for a bath. I guess we had a swimming baths. I guess. I think that's what we called it. It's weird.
To be fair, I don't normally call it the bath, so it just came out. It's my inner.
Oh, it's
Stokey.
just. You've got your tankard, you've got your bath.
Yeah.
And then now you're Aquaman.
Normally say pool, but that pool feels really American for some reason.
Swimming pool. Yeah, swimming lake.
Let's go to the pool.
Covered lake.
Shut up.
Let's go to the lake. Let's go to the rain.
Yeah.
The pre-rain or the post-rain.
Yeah.
Just either side of rain.
I took a flask in with me, and that might not be weird for a lot of people, but it's the first time I've ever had water in that.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I love it. I take a 2 litre bottle of water with me and go through that. And it does feel strange, but it does change, especially if you're swimming lengths to try and get in shape.
Yeah.
Taking a water break in a pool is pretty good. But yeah, it's quite a rarity.
Yeah. It's strange.
It's odd, but it's the
yeah.
world we live in.
But prior to me being in there, and it's nice because it's such like a nice sunny day and everything. Everyone wants to be outside, so I kind of had the place to myself, apart from one guy and his kid, and they were just throwing shit and then going and
At you.
Well, sometimes.
Look at that twat with a flask. Probably thinks he's having a bath.
Yeah. Why don't you just bring your kids like a normal person? Yeah, but they were just screaming the whole time and stuff. I don't know. It was fine. It was fine. But there'd been like a family swim like just before. But so in spite of the fact that the place was pretty much empty, it had just been full of kids, and I don't get squeamish about it or anything like that. But you kind of have to think there's a lot of piss in that pool.
Oh yeah, probably.
But yeah, but it's never something. I'm a lot of like my wife's family have this thing about swimming in like public pools and stuff. Like they makes them squeamish. I don't know why, but I've never really been much of a germaphobe, so I don't really care. And I'm just like chlorine, and it'll make you stronger or whatever. Like just deal with it.
I remember I was blown away when I was a kid and I saw a grown man pick up a pile of shit in a pool and just throw it out.
Oh.
And it was like, what? And he was like, chlorine, mate. Just chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess. But
I mean,
if chlorine's not an issue, then it's not an issue for it to be in the pool, is it?
Yeah. Well,
I guess unless it's floating.
I'll just swim in bleach.
Yeah.
But
well, there's probably a lot of piss on a lot of the M25, I guess. You know, everywhere. Everywhere that you touch stuff, you go, it's covered in piss. Everything's covered in piss. Let's live life.
Yeah.
So the tankard's good, is it?
It's just a glass.
I think I might be a bit of a dick. You know what I mean? Like,
Really?
I've always joked about it. Yeah, I've always joked about it, but there's been moments where I've thought about it a bit like, I remember that being like quite, I remember I was trying to make light of something, but it came across quite dickish. But like, I don't know. Yeah, I can't. It's the same reason I can't drink tea very often or regular. Is just because there's just not enough liquid.
Yeah.
But we've discussed at length that you're too good for liquid.
I've started drinking more recently. Just because I'm so depressed.
yeah. Might as well just hydrate, I guess.
Yeah.
That's all I've got left.
Yeah, but no, maybe it's just heat, maybe it's health, maybe it's just kind of everything kicking in at once, and just I've felt an urgent need for more water in my life.
Yeah, I reckon obviously there is probably a bad thing when drinking too much water by definition, but like drinking lots of water, so long as you don't die, is probably better than drinking not lots of water, right? Probably.
Yeah.
Same with margarine. Like if you have, is margarine meant to be better than butter?
No. I mean,
yes,
this
is episode
but no.
237.
It's
now that we're on to the crux of the issue, I just remembered we have that intro. But yes and no, you're saying.
I think generally animal fats are better for you than vegetable fats, just with the way that your body deals with them, but they are more kind of calorie dense. So
is margarine made of fat vegetables?
Yeah, it's like whipped vegetable oil.
Whipped?
Sort of, yeah.
Like blended.
Yeah.
Blended but with a blunt object. Is that the difference between blending and whisking?
Probably.
Because blend's got like sharp blades, isn't it?
Yeah.
A whisk is just like a load of coat hangers.
Yeah, well, it sounds friendlier as well. Like if you were like, oh, I'm going to put someone in a blender, that sounds quite vicious. But if you're like, I'm going to whisk somebody, and be like,
yeah, you can whisk someone off their feet, but you can't blend their feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, it's 237. Yeah. Prince Phillip is still dead. We've got a website, twinteethpodcast.com. Yeah, I might change the website at some point. I tried to, but I can't. So it's just the same for now, but I'll try and sort something out. We're on social media, probably. But yeah, 227. Yeah, Prince Phillip is still dead. And it's live now. It's live. As we're recording.
Is there a funeral going on?
Yeah, live stream funeral. With all the weird drama of the royal family. The princes aren't going to stand shoulder to shoulder. They're going to be separated by a cousin because of family problems.
Oh. I mean, I stopped caring very shortly after he died. I mean, like, all power to him and everything like that. But the whole drama and everything that goes around it, like, there was a BBC article that popped up on my phone the other day that said, "Here's a list of the 30 people that will be invited to the thing," and it was just like, what? Why?
Star-studded funeral.
Why are you telling me? I'm not going. Like,
people love it. People love it for some reason. I mean,
it's bizarre.
There's a few interesting things about it that I've found. That's why I brought it up. He designed his own hearse.
Excellent.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Land Rover. He worked with Land Rover to design his own hearse.
That's brilliant.
It's like a weird sponsorship, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you want to work with a prince? Well, what about working on my death? I want to drive to the afterlife in style.
Well, some people plan their own funerals and that.
This is true.
Although, like, it'd be hilarious if he was just like, no, I want to make the thing. And like, but you're not an engineer. It's like, I'm a prince.
Yeah, well, you can't say no to me. I want it to have 3 wheels. No, 2 wheels, and it still be a car. But you can't. Prince?
It's my funeral. We're going to defy physics.
The automobile engineer, formerly known as Prince. Yeah, Prince Phillip designed his own custom-built Land Rover hearse for the occasion.
I want it to have
the project spanned 16 years. Yeah, I want to go fast as Stripe on the side, please. 16 years he spent building this hearse.
I mean, yeah.
Pretty funny. He wanted a specific request of repainting it military green. He also came up with the open-top rear and special stops to secure the coffin in place. I want my corpse to be in this box right there.
Yeah.
Propped up, waving, or something. Yeah. I don't know.
The Royal Queen wave.
Yeah.
Mocking
the modified Land Rover Defender. Well, he's dead. You can't defend the dead. TD5 130 chassis cab vehicle was unveiled for the first time. Well, yeah, it'd be weird if they unveiled his hearse before its death, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're ready.
we're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, come on, mate. I mean, otherwise we're going to have to redesign it to be solar powered or something like that.
Look, we don't get paid until it's in use.
Yeah. It's unoccupied, which means it's technically a boat or something. I don't know. It's a cargo vessel. We need it to be a passenger vehicle for the damned. The damned? The dead. I don't think he was damned. No. Maybe he was. I don't know. 2 days before the Duke's farewell the vehicle was unveiled. He first began the long-lasting venture to create the bespoke hearse in collaboration with Land Rover in 2003 when he turned 82. I'm 82, I better design my own hearse.
Yeah.
I've heard like people making their own coffins. I think that's quite funny. That's quite a cool, interesting thing to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So there's a box at the end of the day.
Well, I saw
sure
it.
There's your comfort.
There's a company in Australia that makes novelty coffins, like ones like like shaped like hot dogs and shit.
Right, the term novelty implies stuff like a kind of a childish sense of humour, and I couldn't think of any novelty child coffins that I thought would be.
This is just sad.
Yeah, it's like. People have like a Thomas the Tank Engine coffin, but it's not like a novelty coffin.
No, you just
it's
like
not a bit of light fun.
A Play-Doh press.
Yeah, it's just his unfinished Lego Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, a coffin shaped like Stretch Armstrong.
People keep pulling on it and then release the damned. I guess if you're dead, you're pretty damned, right? What does damning mean? If somebody is damned, I think that means they're meant to go to hell, right?
Yeah, it sort of means more condemned.
So like a building is judged as going to hell. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're damned, I think that means you're meant to go to hell. You've sinned, you're a sinner, you're damned.
Yeah.
You're damned to go to hell, something like that. So I don't mean it. He's dead, you know. Be fine.
Still.
But, yeah, during the funeral, a topless woman was apprehended by police after loudly protesting towards the end of a minute's silence for the royal, according to witnesses. She was protesting the corpse of a prince.
I mean...
Towards the end of a minute's silence as well. Like, I respect him 50 seconds out of 60.
Yeah.
But the last 10, I'm going to disrespect the shit out of him. She was not disrespecting him while topless. But up until that point, I'm assuming.
I'm sure he'd have approved of her being topless, but it's just the rest of it, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, she shouldn't have opened her fucking mouth, eh, Phillip?
Yeah.
I approve of this message so long as it's visual and not heard.
Push her down the stairs. The royal stairs.
The royal Land Rover stair.
Yeah.
Officers were seen leading a woman away from Windsor Castle where the funeral of the former Duke of Edinburgh is taking place. Guess that has to happen at Windsor. Do they live at Windsor Castle? I don't know.
No, they live in the palace.
The Duke of Edinburgh. Why is he buried in Edinburgh?
He's only the Duke of Edinburgh. He's not actually Scottish, I don't think.
He's not like a high-ranking
Yeah.
earl.
Yeah. He's
only the prince.
He doesn't manage the big Tesco Extra or anything. He's just a duke.
Well, he's a prince of England, right?
He's a duke.
Is it
He's not a
Britain?
prince. Oh,
Prince
no, he
Phillip.
is. He's Prince Philip.
Yeah, Prince Philip is also the
He's
duke.
also the duke.
Then there's dukes and duchesses that are also princes.
Yeah.
It's like
And
weird.
Elton John's a knight.
Who's John?
Elton John.
Oh, Elton John's he's a knight.
Yeah. Sir. He's Sir Elton John.
Yeah. Wonder if you get anything for that. Custom built suit of armour.
Yeah.
Steel welded star glasses.
A sword signed by the Queen.
Gets his own rocket man.
Yeah.
Personal rocket man.
Yeah.
Piss about with.
A royal piano.
Yeah. Well, he plays at the Royal Variety Show.
Is that
I
still
think
a
a lot.
thing?
I think it is.
They shove him
But
in a box.
I still don't know what it is. It's just like
It's a
for
variety
the
show.
royal family of like. I mean, I don't even know how big the royal family is, but say like the core contenders are like a dozen people probably
It's just
at the core.
It's just it's America's Got Talent, but with the Queen there.
But with someone who can send you to the guillotine.
Yeah, if
Ups
you
the
if you
stakes.
fuck up. Maybe that's what it used to be. It used to be much less jovial than it is now.
Maybe like the jester's courts kind of thing.
We get the most talented people from death row to come and
them all
perform,
on
and
an
if they
island
do
with
really
cameras.
well, we don't kill them.
But I mean, in all seriousness, what is it? Is it just a show for? Is it like the White House Correspondents' Dinner kind of thing, but in a theatre show for England?
I mean,
So you've probably got like broadcasting CEOs or something like those kind of people, journalists there.
Yeah, but it's mostly. I thought it was members of the public that are filled with the audience.
Ah,
It's
dunno.
just yeah. Have you never watched it?
Not really. I've seen clips. Like I think I saw Robin Williams do a set there and
Yeah.
some other things. But yeah, I think it's just a normal show that
Yeah.
some like a handful, like 6 royal members go to kind of thing.
Just a very prestigious talent show.
Ah, fair enough. In other news, lastly from dead Prince Philip, a remote island tribe who believe Prince Philip was their god have devised a day of rituals to mark his death. So God is dead
Yeah.
because Prince Philip was dead and the tribe is crestfallen.
Oh right.
But they're going to have a dance to ritualise the death. The tribe's men and women on the South Pacific island of Tanna in Vanuatu will mourn by dancing, speeches, and the ceremonial drinking of the plant kava. The group, who believe Prince Philip is their god and the incarnation of a volcano spirit, could also anoint his son Prince Charles as his successor.
Gods don't have successors.
Mate, this god was a volcano, alright? To do whatever the fuck he wants.
That's Phil. He's a volcano.
Fucking hell. He's gone. I'm not trying to ridicule their belief. It's so... I thought Prince Philip was quite unremarkable,
Yeah.
but he was actually a god.
He was actually a volcano.
Yeah. Dancing there is a highly respected form of saying something powerful, and there may be some that have already gone on. There may be a periodic display of some of the movement's Prince Philip memorabilia. Photographs, letters, that sort of thing. Also, they're going to like hold up photos of Prince Philip. There'll also be more periodic speeches by traditional leaders on the island.
Yeah.
Look, my view on a lot of beliefs and a lot of religions and stuff like that is just we need to compartmentalize things as human beings. We need to have an answer to an array of questions, and just be like, okay, so now that's dealt with, let's move on. So, like, you've been like, what happens to bad people who are just evil? Don't worry, they get their comeuppance later on in life. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Even if you see bad things, you understand there's an equality in the world because it's suffering at the end. These guys were like, is that Prince Phillip? That'll do. All right, he's God. Volcano. And then just carried on with shit. They had like a couple of photos of the guy who's like, oh yeah, it's God, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
all right,
if you're going to worship something, like, it's good that it's a tangible thing. Like, that it's you can see it, you can feel it if it'll let you. Like, you can, like, it's there. It's like, if someone's like, God doesn't exist, they can be like, yeah, he does, there he is.
He's right there. He was on the Royal Variety Show.
Yeah. He shook hands with Alan Partridge.
But it's got to be like pretty. You must. I mean, I don't know what the internet access is like over there, but like, if you got news that he was sick, what do you do? Like, God's got COVID.
Yeah.
So we better jump in the volcano. I don't know.
God's on a respirator.
Throw rocks at him. Yeah. There's questioning thoughts about respirators. Should we give them to gods? I don't know. It's just he's an unremarkable person in my eyes, but apparently he had a very large impact on an island. Possibly the most important element of the funerary rituals will be evening sessions of the men of the group drinking kava, which is the root of a pepper plant. The movement began during an official visit to Vanuatu in 1971, where he took part in some traditional rituals on the northern island of Malakula. Although Prince Phillip never visited Tanna before this, chiefs from the island saw him take part in the rituals, and that was greatly respected. So they're like, oh, he does our rituals, he's a volcano god. In February 1974, he and the Queen came through on the royal yacht Britannia. They sailed down past the island. That's God. God, these pictures
on a speedboat.
God, yeah, isn't this is the plot of Lost? I think where it's just like, oh, there's little big scraps of paper. Oh, this must be God. There he is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fair enough. Saw God today.
Does that make the Queen Wilson?
Yeah, drifting along with an open ocean. Spoiler alert: Wilson doesn't survive. You know that blood-riddled volleyball? Yeah, he died.
Yeah.
Got some kind of blood disease. A lot of photographs of him would have been circulating among the group, and some of the things that he may have said or done during those visits may have been some of the things to help people in that part of Tanna sort of focus on him and think maybe he's the one we've been looking for so long. It's weirdly written, but I guess what they're saying is they were in the market for a new god.
Yeah.
Phillip came over.
Well, our old god erupted. So.
Yeah, the tectonic plates beneath our old god kind of inverted, and now it's not a great volcano.
Yeah,
our last god cancelled flights from Icelandic shit. So they were in the market for a new god. Prince Phillip came over, was probably dressed up smart, and did some rituals. And like, oh, he must be God then. Fair enough. I like that. Again, that's my interpretation of it. But like, I like the idea that you're looking for a god, and you just kind of find a bloke. You're God, right? Oh yeah. All right then. We'll just follow life in your footsteps. It then evolved over the decades as the two parties occasionally exchanged gifts. He sent them gifts. I mean, so he must have seen himself as a god. If someone thought I was a god, I wouldn't like get them to write down commandments or something. I probably would. Fair enough. Yeah. No, this is fair enough. But you would think someone in the public eye who's got some kind of responsibility over a people, he wouldn't be like, I'm going to encourage this worshipping of me by an island in case I need to militarize independently. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But guy's a god, do what he wants. Yeah. It then evolved over the decades, so yeah. Now an island is in mourning because God is dead.
Oh dear.
Isn't life interesting?
It is. It is weird.
Now, why didn't we must have heard you must have been able to hear about this as a random scum fact, right? Of like there's an island somewhere that worships Prince Phillip as a god.
That does seem
and
like
we just haven't seen it.
Something I would have covered. But yeah. I don't think I have.
I don't think so. Work harder, Steve.
Yeah, well,
For
it's
God's
been
sake.
a while since I've done a scum.
This is true. I can't do the,
I can't trigger
playing.
the sound.
Yeah. Not long, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Have you gone to a pub?
Yeah, we went yesterday, and on Tuesday, I think. Yeah.
Did it feel weird? Did it feel normal?
Well, as someone who couldn't give two fucks about COVID, it just felt normal. But I imagine to some people it would feel weird.
No, I meant more as like, because you haven't been to the pub in a long time. Did it feel strange, like kind of a bit odd of like, oh, there's now lots of people around?
No,
because I had that during
really.
some of the breaks.
But the thing is, like, as we said a bunch of times, I've not really been isolated this whole time, like at all. No more so than I usually isolate myself anyway.
Have you been isolated from karaoke machines and like what else do they put into pubs nowadays? Mind readers and talkers of the dead.
Yeah, and the like fruit machines and pool tables.
Yeah.
Pork scratchings.
Yeah, you've been isolated from those?
Somewhat.
Was it just like suddenly surrounded by pork scratchings?
Yeah. But I don't know. I think the places we went don't really serve pork scratchings.
Jesus.
Which is a shame.
Water out of a tankard and a ban on pork scratchings.
Bliss.
You're in an echo chamber!
Yeah. Bliss.
Yeah,
But,
I've never been a pork scratching guy. But,
no, I was raised on them from an early age.
No Dairy Lee Lunchables,
No.
but lots of pork scratchings.
Well, we had Dairy Lee, like we had the Dairy Lee triangles sometimes. But we didn't have. Or we had off-brand Dairy Lee triangles, so it's like Lee's Dairy triangles.
Dairy Mike.
Yeah. But no, the way I kind of describe my palate is, I grew up fat, and as such, like I got a penchant for all the shit that other people didn't like because it meant that I could eat more of it because there was more left.
Sand. You're like, oh fuck it.
No,
I'm going for the sand.
Food. So like, I was a kid that fucking loved like blue cheese and like Worcester sauce flavored crisps and like pork scratchings because other kids didn't eat them, so they were always left.
See, to me that seems more of like an ego thing of like just no, I'm the dumpster. Just give me all of your waste, and I'll just consume it.
You gonna eat that? No. What a shock. I'll eat it.
You won't eat your pizza crust? Give it here.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't eat off other people's plates. That'd be weird.
You eat pizza on a plate as well. What the fuck, man? I mean, how old are you? Water out of a tankard and pizza on a plate.
What?
Are you happy with where your life led you?
If we order fresh pizza, we eat it out of the box. But if we have a frozen pizza, it's on a plate. Yeah.
You put it on a plate.
On a frozen pizza, yeah.
Yeah, no, you put it on the box, mate. No washing up.
You're living the smooth bachelor lifestyle.
Dream.
I understand
The dream.
that. You're living the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get it right.
I eat pizza off a box, and I have done for over a decade.
Yeah, I know. Well, the thing I used to do that when I was in uni. I used to do that before I had to split my pizza, because once you tear the box in half, it's pretty
You
useless.
split a pizza?
Yeah. Yes.
Marriage isn't... It's not for me. I don't think. Why would you split a pizza?
So we can have half each, because otherwise my wife doesn't get any.
So? No, but why don't you just cook two pizzas?
Because I don't want a whole pizza.
Well, how big are your pizzas? I guess is what I'm saying. 'Cause if you've got a massive pizza, then yeah, you don't want a whole pizza. But if you're having like an average,
I mean, they're not
medium-sized
huge,
pizza,
but like I'm half the size of you.
that means that you require half of the energy, not half of the food, right?
That's
That's why you're half the size of me, you bastard.
I'm not. No, I
No, but it depends. It depends on the size of the pizza you're having, I guess, right? I mean, if I gave you a brand, a Chicago-style mini pizza that has two pizzas on it anyway.
What?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
I'm not going to get them. But it's a pizza the size of like a teacup saucer.
Oh, like a microwave pizza.
Maybe, but I've never microwaved a pizza. What, from frozen?
I used to
Gets
have
all rubbery,
the
doesn't it?
Chicago Town microwave pizzas.
Yeah, you can put them in the oven as well, and they're better that way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you need one of those.
Yeah, but then you would just kind of put it on like a swivel, wouldn't you?
What do you mean?
You just have the box with two pizzas, pizza on either side, and then you would just have the marriage on either side of that box, wouldn't you?
What are you talking about?
Don't put pizza on a plate, mate. You're ruining the environment. What, do you put your pot noodle in a fucking, I don't know, ladle?
It's in a pot. It's already in a pot.
It's in the packaging, isn't it?
A box is not a plate. A box is a box.
They can act as a plate. Give peace a chance, mate. Don't fucking ruin the environment with your plates. Will you use a knife and fork or a spoon?
No.
No, so you put it on a plate and then you put it in your face. Cut out the middleman.
I'm a bit of a dick. I can't cut out the middleman and just put your face in the oven.
just smash your head into the pizza, absorb the sauce, and move on. Water out of a tankard, mate. I don't know.
You drink water out of a glass?
Not really. Not.
If you're here and you ask for a drink, it comes to you in a glass, and you've never complained before. You only complain when I do it, because God forbid we ever do the same thing.
Well, it's just when it's water. It's just just drink it from the tap, mate. I don't know. How fast do you drink water as well? Is the thing,
this is the same pint, and
right,
we've been half an hour,
half an hour for a glass of water, mate.
Because it's not a fucking race. I'm enjoying it.
It's not, you're enjoying your water.
Yes.
I just enjoy being more hydrated. I'm coming in hot here. I don't know why, but like
I don't know either.
Yeah, but like I'd
I was
rather
so positive
chug
about today.
2 liters of water. I'd rather chug it so I'm instantly hydrated, and then I can kind of walk on my tiptoes throughout the house because I'm so hydrated, like a ballerina.
Right.
That's how ballet works, isn't it? You water torture them until they.
Yeah, that's how ballet works. Chug,
dance on their tiptoes.
Ballet.
Yeah. I'm just trying to bond in some way.
Are you?
Oh, look, you drink water out of a tankard. I drink it directly from the tap. We're the same.
You drink 2 litres of it from a bottle. I haven't got a 2 litre glass. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just about quantity.
But is it fill up a 2 litre bottle though? Can you?
I haven't got a 2 litre bottle.
You throw it away again, ruining the environment.
What do you mean throw it away?
What you don't get your pizzas in a 2 litre bowl? Drink out your pizza box. No, yeah, I get when I'm feeling flush, I buy Highland Spring brand sponsor.
Yeah.
Highland Spring 2 litre bottles of water. In fact, I've got some around me. That's chow mein. That's not that. They're on the other side of the desk. But rest assured, I've got good water.
I just don't.
Right, so I just reuse those bottles.
Unless you're in a pinch, as in like you're out somewhere and you don't have access to anything except a shop and you need a drink, then I don't get buying water. I don't understand it.
It's just better water, isn't it?
I mean, it's just water. Like,
but from somewhere else. Did you ever have that thing as a kid where like your house's tap water tasted different from someone else's tap water that you went to school with?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Like hard and soft water, or whatever, different.
We've got that. Like ours is soft, and my parents' is like hard, and you can taste a bit of a difference, but not enough to make me go and spend money on fucking water.
I would, but I'm a drinker. I've got a problem.
Yeah.
I drink a lot, so I think it's just like I need more not more hydration, but I just condition myself to drink more water, I guess.
Yeah. Plus,
same with like beer, I guess, isn't it? Like, I don't really have the taste of beer because maybe it's hard or soft water. I don't know, but like because I don't have the different tastes of beer or alcohol as much, it's just sugar or hard or soft water.
Yeah.
My perception of the world is limited. I'm an ethnic minority in that respect.
Yeah,
minority.
I don't know, man. Like I think it's a waste thing as well. Like I generally don't buy drinks. The only time I really buy drinks is if they come like with a meal, like if you're going to McDonald's or something like that. But like actual soft drinks and stuff, I don't buy them. I don't buy
like beer and stuff like that.
I'll buy you have like a beer when you're out or something like that. Buying alcohol feels a bit different. but I just don't. I don't like. I've got a resistance to buying like bottles of anything just because we have this big thing about kind of like recycling and not wasting and things, which is like another side of it.
Pizza on plates.
Yeah, and I've never really been fussy about what I eat or drink. Like we've had this same thing where like I can eat the same thing every day and not care. Like if it works for me, then I'm fine with it. Whereas like some people like need variety. So like I don't crave like fizzy drinks or like different drinks or anything like that. I'll just drink the same shit all day every day.
But then you still drink alcohol. They say it's a different thing, right? Yeah, if you exclude alcohol and stuff. Yeah, you can just drink water and stuff like that or whatever. But then like coffee and then all that kind of stuff kind of blends in.
Yeah, I drink. But
yeah, I think the difference me with water is probably similar to a lot of people with beer, where most beer tastes pretty similar. Yeah, but you can taste the difference between different things. Yeah, like Evian and Highland Spring taste very different to me. But I'm a more cultured person. Well, I'm a sommelier of water.
I used to, for some reason, drink a lot of Volvic. I think terrible. It wasn't great. I think it was something while I was in sixth form. There was
sex criminals water. That's what I call it.
While I was in sixth form, like there was I used to get it with like a meal deal or something like that because I wasn't really asked about fizzy drinks. So I'd just get a bottle of water, and I do remember that tasting coppery. Yeah, like it had that kind of metallic kind of taste to it. So I guess I can pick up notes and stuff like that, but like it's not enough to make me go out and rethink my brand of water.
No, I think it's more for me. Again, it's more kind of laziness. It's like having 12 liters of water at my on my side. It's like, yes, I can chug a fuck ton of water very easily and then refill all those bottles and have them here again.
I'm surprised you don't have like a water bubbler, like a dispenser.
They're ridiculously expensive.
But you have looked into it then?
Not for me. I looked into it for a friend. I was like, I can get this for a friend because for fizzy drinks or whatever. And it was like, Jesus Christ, yeah, it's very expensive. And again, they only distribute like a small bottle's worth at a time. Yeah. Because you need to put in the gas into it and water into it and then it bubbles it. It's not great. Ah. Anyway, fuck Volvic. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, good.
That's an episode title, isn't it?
Fair one.
In other news, a man said he nearly fainted after he discovered builders changed his large house into half a house, essentially. So he put down building plans for what would you call a full house? A detached house? Yeah. And then in order to abide by the building development's, regulations, they had to turn it into half a duplex. What? So they changed his house being built into a semi-detached, but didn't build the other half.
What?
I'll go into it. Bishnu Ariel, who moved from Nepal to Sydney, paid 700,000 Australian dollars, which is like 400 grand, for his house. But 3 years after he employed the services of Zach Homes, right, shit name for a company that builds houses, to build a custom off-plan home, and was left in shock when he discovered that a freestanding build had been turned into a duplex, which I think is the American term for semi-detached, is what it looks like. So it's a building development with no other houses on it, and then just half a house in the middle.
Did they knock it down?
No, it was a building development.
So he bought like a plot of land, and they built to his spec, but they only built half a house.
Yeah, because they changed it to be like, well, it's got to be a semi-detached house, so they just built half a house and concreted the interior wall.
I mean, you
didn't tell him. Like, buying a house is already an annoying thing to go through with all the red tape and shit. Yeah. And then you get there, and they've only done half of it.
But at that point, can't you be like, I don't want this house?
I paid for it.
Yeah, but he just settled. He just dealt with it. Fine.
I think elsewhere in the article it said because of COVID, like, finances were tough for him and his family, so they had to move in because they'd banked on, moving into it. And maybe that made it more difficult to fight against.
I guess, but I mean, that side of things is fucking dumb. Like, fuck your finances. They can pay for your hotel and everything while they fix it because they fucked it up in the first place.
But, it would have been, again, like, they
it's
did
one
build
thing
a house for him.
if they've shown him and been like, this is what we're going to do, and then he's been like, yeah, whatever, and not looked at it. Like, fine, that's his fault. But if they haven't, fuck him. I don't know why I'm so angry about it.
It's just moving over to the place and then it's just a half a house.
Yeah.
There's just about a gap where his study and conservatory was going to be or something. Nothing there. It's like, fuck, 3 years after he employed the services, he was left in shock when he discovered his freestanding house had been turned into a duplex. The company said the construction initially started as a freestanding home, but had to be changed to comply with the Liverpool Council regulations that reportedly state the block had to be an attached dwelling. So it could have been, I think from memory, they said we tried to get into contact with him, but we failed. And so we just built the house. And there you go. But, nearly fainted when he saw half his house was missing. I'd be pretty pissed too.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty lightheaded, I think.
I mean, like, if you order a pizza and they send you half a pizza.
Already on a plate, you'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. They sent you a lasagna, but only the top half.
Yeah.
What's the best part of lasagna? I just like the word lasagna is funny to me. Is it the top half or the bottom half that's the good segment? I've very rarely had lasagna.
I would say if you're going to have one half, have the top half because at least it's got everything on it.
And the bottom hasn't got everything on it.
Well, yeah, because it's only the top that's got the cheese on it.
Oh, like a trifle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like layered.
Whereas but you've still got the bolognese and stuff. But if you have the bottom half, it's just bolognese and pasta, in which case, just have a bolognese.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Pulling Teeth podcast.
Yeah. 237.
So that guy fainted. In other news, this sounded very similar to an article we've had before, and I think it's just something that just happens in America. A teacher and basketball coach at a North Carolina school were killed in a shooting after trying to rob the home of a Mexican drug cartel member.
Serves him right.
Barney Dale Harris and his brother-in-law Stephen Stewart Jr. were accused of robbing a stash house last Thursday belonging to a member of the Jalisco New Generation cartel. Didn't realise the cartels were going down the Star Trek route series.
No.
Well, now it's time for the new generation. What do you mean, the next generation? Oh, you can't have that one because everyone's going to go for let it make it so. So new generation cartel. They tried to steal a stash house. And I remember this happening before where someone left his kid in the car and then went to go talk to a drug cartel member. And then the kid in the car got riddled with bullets, something like that. I seem to remember that being in a previous...
because
episode?
he took his kid because he thought they wouldn't shoot him if he's got his kid, and they shot them all anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, they shot everybody.
Because they're drug dealers.
Yeah,
it's the
because
cartel.
They fucking decapitate people and all that shit. Investigators determined Harrison Stewart broke into the mobile home of Alonzo Beltra Lara and waited for him to come back. Deputies responded around 1 a.m. It was almost like an old Western shootout. Okay. No one suffered any other injuries, but 3 trailers were struck by bullets. Like your old classic Western.
Yeah.
Harris, who was Harris? So Harris is one of the people breaking in, were wearing a bulletproof vest, gloves, and a mask, was shot multiple times. Lara, who was the Mexican drug cartel member, I think, his hands and feet were bound, was shot twice in the back of the head.
Oh.
So I think they're just saying it's a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Fair enough. In other news, Mother's Day has come and gone in the UK, but it's coming up for Americans because they only respect their mothers in the spring or something like that. Yeah. I don't know why it's got different over here to over there. Probably something to do with the declaration of we don't want our Mother's Day on that day, so let's go to war.
Daylight savings, mothers.
Probably. But Gwyneth Paltrow is releasing some Mother's Day gifts.
God, what's she made that smells like a vagina now?
A yacht.
A yacht that smells like my arsehole.
So she suggested potentially, how about get your mother a vibrator necklace? Or a $600 bidet.
What?
Other gifts. Get your mum a toilet. Happy Mother's Day, Mum.
I mean, what are you saying about your mum if you buy her
got you a
something to
new
wash
toy.
her ass with?
It's just like
Here you
bidets
go.
are.
This looks like something you really need.
I think bidets they're a
Saw
new
this and
wave
thought of you.
hygiene, so they're coming in. But yeah, it just feels like. I mean, I like Mother's Day. I get my mum Mother's Day stuff. I never thought about getting her a toilet.
No.
Or a bidet, but like a white. Is it a white good? Your bathroom facilities.
Or
not white goods,
a
are they?
fucking vibrator.
Vibrator necklace.
Like your dad looking at you, being like, "I don't understand what's going on right now, son."
Yeah. How big is this necklace?
Yeah.
What's the deal? Guess it's just like bullet around some
Are we
string.
competing? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah. They wanted a calendar day dedicated to showering some of the most deserving among us with love. They had it under the title "For Your Mum Crew." To ridiculous but awesome. The present suggestions also include a fedora hat embroidered with the exact astrological positions of the moon, stars, and planets when your child was born for $3,000.
Oh, God. Fuck's sake.
Why do you need all that? That is Google Maps, 1976, to see the stars.
Well, I've seen people doing they get, like, you can get those star sign posters and pictures and stuff and be like, well, this is what the sky looked like on the night I first said I love you. And, like, shit like that. And I've seen that, but not for $3,000.
Well, it's all because of Neil deGrasse Tyson, isn't it, I think?
I think this is part of what I really dislike about all of the goop stuff, is that not only is most of it utter bollocks, but it's ludicrously expensive.
Yeah. It's like Hollywood.
Like, I can deal with bollocks if it's cheap. I don't mind cheap bollocks. But, like...
Well, one of the things that she offers, why don't you get this for your Mother's Day, is a luxury yacht trip to Croatia for $105,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well, I get
Happy
it, if you
Mother's
can.
Day. I sold my house so you could go to Croatia on this yacht that smells like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, just like, I mean, it's not even, it's such a I mean, how much does the average person spend on Mother's Day in the UK? I'd say on average, you're topping out about 50 quid.
Yeah.
On average,
Yeah.
I'd say. Flowers, chocolates, bottle of wine, something like that maybe.
Yeah.
And you go like, if that's a percentage of salary, then how much is that percentage of £105,000 or dollars, whatever?
Yeah.
You're targeting a very specific amount of people. But I guess it's Gwyneth Paltrow, right? Isn't she with Coldplay? I can't remember.
She was. He divorced her
Oh.
because he's got sense.
He tried to fix her, but she was too yellow. Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough. The scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Look at the
if you're
stars.
stuck for ideas.
They're on your hat.
It's $3,000.
$3,000.
It's insane. In other similarly insane news, but less Gwyneth Paltrow, France has now outlawed sex with children under the age of 15.
Oh. Well,
I
there
know,
goes my summer holiday.
How stereotypically French is that? Like, stereotypes are always weird, but it's just strange that that's now illegal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was technically illegal before, but if you could make an argument that it was consensual, it was legal.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I can't compute that, but there must have been an idea of like, well, they were 15 or 14 and the other person was like 17 or 16. It's still weird, but maybe there's a consensual thing in there. But you go, children, they can't make responsible decisions, so therefore they cannot consent. So don't do this, please, France. And France have eventually done it. This is a historic law for our children and our society, Justice Minister Eric Dupond-Moretti told the National Assembly. We can no longer fuck kids.
Yeah.
This is a historic day in French history. Yeah, all right, just stop. I mean, what was that? Thinking about it, wasn't there a couple of films? There was a film beginning with an L,
Please.
I think, about like a man and a French teenager who was quite questionable, and it was kind of an action-y love film. It's a classic. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head now. But maybe there's a few situations where like young children have been portrayed as romantic interests in French cinema of some kind. I don't know. But yeah, you can't fuck any kids, even consenting kids in France anymore.
Yeah, France is one of those things where it's like there's certain they're just very laissez-faire about sex in general. Like, or that's how it appears.
It's a stereotype.
Yeah. Like it's the ones that I've heard have always been like, it's normal for you as a man to have a wife and a mistress. Like that's just in a lot of communities in France or something like that. Now that might be utter bollocks, but that's just.
Does that mean that like Japan, it's normal to have a wife and an octopus?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because you would have thought Japan, because I think Japan is, well, no. Yeah, no, I don't know much about, that kind of stuff, but like, is it like Japanese schoolgirl is a big thing? Was there French schoolgirl? Is America, I don't know.
Japanese schoolgirl, French maid, Catholic schoolgirl as well.
Yeah, and then the Germans are a bit more of the aggressive type.
Yeah, we like factories.
Yeah, and then the Danish and the Americans are about being stuck in a washing machine or something.
Yeah, like that's you can. Yeah, we'll fuck anything, but it needs to have clogs and a cowbell. Yeah,
put it on a plate if you wouldn't mind. Or a tankard. In other news, so France can't fuck kids anymore. In other news, 2 passengers are suing a plane after the engine of the plane caught fire. Gonna sue you. Priorities, guys. No, a United Airlines flight engine caught fire in midair.
Right.
And they're suing the airline. And it's a weird one. I just pricked it because it's kind of something that wouldn't be my instinctive reaction.
No.
To sue the airline that
PTSD
landed you safely after a disaster.
Yeah. Maybe. The only justification I can think is maybe PTSD. But I would be more thankful that they landed. Because I'd be like, well, I'm sure you did your pre-flight checks and everything like that, and it's just a freak accident. Like, it could happen to any plane, technically.
Yeah, well, birds hit planes all the time.
Yeah.
Apparently. And you can't really...
You can't plan for that.
No, you can't have anti-bird blades.
Well, you could have a guy with an with a gun.
With a net.
Like a turret, just taking out birds as they fly by.
If you look down below, you'll see Sicily and a corpse of swarms of birds falling to the... But yeah, only 2 passengers are suing them, and I think there must be 100 people, 50 people on a plane, and 2 of them are suing. Seems odd.
I imagine
I get the trauma. If you can't work, then you've lost income because of it.
The cynicism in me says that it's just suing culture. If I imagine if it was in another country, that wouldn't happen. Yeah.
Well, that's why I picked it out as a go. I can't. Yeah, I'd be more grateful for the pilot who landed a plane with one engine on fire.
Yeah.
They've been like, this was close. Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sue you. For more than $500,000 apparently. And lastly, from me, I've mentioned before these kind of experience articles where it's like, I can't remember most of them, but one of them was like, I'm addicted to Diet Coke or something. So interesting people with life stories to tell that kind of stand out. You probably might relate to this one.
Okay.
I have lived in Typhy Valley in West Wales all my life, 72 years. I'm a farmer and I look after my 71 sheep. My boyhood was spent helping my family on the farm. I've never wanted to run away from it. Even as a young lad, this valley is cut in the shape of my heart. I once visited a farm in England about 30 years ago, and that was the only time I left Wales. Guy likes Wales. Fair enough.
Okay.
Many of the friends I grew up with left to find work in big cities. As a young man, I was offered a job in Scotland on oil rigs, but I could never leave. My heart belongs here with the birds and the trees. I knew if I left, I'd be thinking about my valley the whole time, so what would be the point? All I want is right here. Guy loves Wales. It's fair enough.
Yeah.
I have a routine, just like nature, that extends to what I eat. I've had the same supper for 10 years.
Shit.
That's his experience.
I mean,
This guy has had the same meal for 10 years.
if he's still alive, then it's obviously got everything in it he needs.
Yeah, well, people eat baked beans, only baked beans,
Yeah.
or, something like that. And your body just finds a way to figure it out
Yeah.
to run kind of like it. I reckon it's like when I did the just meat diet for a little bit, I only did it for a couple of weeks because I got very ill,
Yeah.
which apparently is normal. And then you have to suffer through it and come out the other
You
side.
level out. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was just wrecked. But I was surprised how good I felt aside from that.
Yeah.
Of just eating meat and your body has kind of adapted to it. So your body just finds a way. Everything gets turned into fat and everything can come out of fat, right? So I guess if everything turns into fat, you can get nutrition out of everything.
Yeah.
You might not run very well.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
if
thing.
you're
It's an
vitamin
argument
deficient.
of, well, it works versus it works best.
Yeah.
Like, you
can't
can
think,
put
as long as it's a
ethanol in your
vitamin
car.
thing, it's balanced.
It won't work as well as it would with petrol, but it'll still work.
Did you say vegetable oil? You cut out a little
Ethanol,
bit.
like ethanol. You could put ethanol in.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can fuel a car on vegetable oil as well,
Yeah.
like with a special edition, I
Converter
guess.
thingy.
But it probably won't run in the same way that a petroleum car or a diesel car will run.
Yeah.
It'll just work, but in a different way, I guess.
Yeah.
So this guy eats the same supper for 10 years, even on Christmas Day. 2 pieces of fish, 1 big onion, an egg, baked beans, and a few biscuits. For lunch, he has a pear, an orange, and 4 sandwiches with paste. Paste. But I allow myself a bit more variety and sometimes have soup if it's cold. Have you ever had 4 paste sandwiches?
I've had sandwich spread.
What's that?
Is that what he means?
I imagine it's like... What's that weird... you get it in like deli counters where it's like, duck parfait?
Oh, like pate.
It's like a loaf. Pate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's,
Mate, is it like that?
Yeah, the paste is similar to that, but you can get it in a bunch of different flavours, and it's got all your preservatives and shit in it. But it's like, most kinds of meat and fish, and then you can get like sandwich fillings, like tubs of sandwich filling, which is like egg and cress and cheese and tomato and stuff like that, and it's just blended up gunge, but it tastes the same.
Fair enough.
Or something.
I've only made sandwiches with
Actual
non-paste.
Stuff. Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I had it. I had it a bit when I was a kid because it was just quick and easy. But like, it's not.
Other people didn't want it.
Yeah.
I'll have it.
Oh, there's loads of this left on the shelf.
Yeah. It's just Worcester sauce.
Yeah.
Put it in a sandwich.
Yeah.
It'll be reeked. I used to have just cucumber sandwiches. Apparently that's a weird thing.
Cucumber sandwiches I always saw as being quite posh.
Just no butter or anything, just cucumber.
Well, yeah, I'd find that weird, but it's because I find any sandwich without butter weird. But at the same time, cucumber's quite moist. It's not going to be dry, is it?
I'd stopped. I mean, when I make my own sandwiches, I definitely don't use butter. But that was the thing I did at uni when I was like, I'm healthy now. So
yeah.
I'm just going to
you
have
got used to it,
no
like-
gravy, just
then-
bread.
Like but then at the other extreme, like I knew someone that wouldn't go to Subway because they don't butter the bread. And I was just like, well, that's a stupid reason not to go to Subway. Like that doesn't. I don't love butter that much that I won't buy a sandwich from somebody.
I mean, I've dipped crackers in butter like it was guacamole. So I'm not against butter.
I mean, that's a way to do it, I guess. I've never done that.
Yeah, I tried dipping bread into peanut butter.
You're not like a massive cheese person, are you?
No.
Well, like, so my wife and
paste
her
person.
family, and like, to be fair, most people, I think it was just our family, really, that like, it was weird to have cheese and biscuits without butter on the biscuits. But apparently a lot of people do that. Whereas I need the butter.
Isn't butter
Biscuits are
designed
quite
to make
dry.
it less dry?
Yeah.
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 But then the cheese isn't dry. I don't know.
Not
Is
dry
cheese
enough.
dry?
It's not wet enough.
Not wet enough.
Yeah. I want butter.
In the rain.
Yeah.
Go outside in the rain and eat your cheese and biscuits.
I've gotten used to it now, but I'd still prefer butter.
Fair enough.
Episode
Butter a
237.
cracker. Yeah. Highland spring water, butter on crackers.
Yeah.
And that plane engine exploded. But yeah, this whole article was about how a guy eats the same meal every day, but it's a varied meal, so I don't understand what the excitement is.
Well, people get into a routine. It's like if it works for you, it works for you. I think
I've never found a breakfast. Actually,
you what?
I've never found my breakfast.
As in I could eat this for the rest of my life, kind of breakfast.
Well, yeah, I've had those moments, but I've never been able to be consistent with it. Beans on toast is probably a solid. Depending on your day, I find, for your breakfast, right?
Yeah.
If you're having a big day planned, then I'll have a bigger breakfast. But if I'm having a relaxed day, I might not have a big breakfast.
Yeah.
There's some people eat the same breakfast every day, and that sounds strange.
I try not to do cereals and stuff just because I like to have like a bunch of protein in a breakfast. I just find it keeps me fuller for longer. So like typically I have like, at the minute it's like eggs and mackerel and a slice of toast.
Jesus Christ.
What?
We're different. Mackerel for breakfast.
Yeah, well, I was on...
A mackerel fish, I swear, is smaller than your hand.
No. Mackerels are... No, they're quite big. Well...
Like an arm?
No, not that big.
They're smaller than an arm, but bigger than a hand. Maybe I could reconsider a mackerel. I don't think I could eat a fish that's
maybe the size of your hand.
Yeah, fuck that fish then.
We just have two.
You got two hands, mate. Doesn't work. If a fish is smaller than your hand, I'd feel it. Again, it's too small, mate. It's too small. Go for a tuna.
I mean, tuna's good. Any fish.
Have a whole tuna for breakfast.
Any fish. It's just that if I get smoked mackerel, I can flake it and put it in a box, and it'll last a week without going off.
Smoked mackerel.
And it's
Different
cheap.
People.
For fish, it's pretty cheap.
That's because it's only hand size, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
been smoking its whole life.
That's how fish works. It's not how difficult it is to catch or how rare they are or
it's
anything
hand
like
size.
that. It's the size of the fish's hands, which in most instances is non-existent.
True. They don't have hands, do they? They have
It'd
wings.
be fucking weird if you caught a fish and it had a hand.
And it high-fives you. I'm in a weird mood today, mate. I've been in a weird mood all week, so probably being extra aggressive. Why not?
Yeah.
Fuck you and your tank of the water.
To be fair, like I wasn't really asked, but I used to have like ham and eggs because like ham's easy and I like it, but there was a thing of like, well, maybe I shouldn't eat like processed meat every day. Like that seems a bit like don't like they're all of all the kind of things they tell you to stay away from them. From processed food is generally it, and I was buying like the cheapest of cheap ham and just be like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That's the better ham though. It's weird. Cheap ham I prefer over expensive ham.
I don't know. I like expensive ham. I just can't afford it.
Never liked expensive ham.
No?
Fuck expensive ham. Let me pour Highland Spring water over my cheap watery ham. Then I don't have to butter it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Find a good breakfast. It depends on your day. It depends on your plan. I don't know. I could eat the same thing every day, and I did eat the same thing every day. I've done that. I guess I've done that before.
Yeah.
Where it was like, I eat pasta every day, all day, or whatever, or for dinner every day.
Yeah, when you were like full-on carb guy when you were working out.
Yeah, and it was just like, just not a big fan. So I just stuck with drinking. I could drink water all day, every day. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like a breakfast is like, that man has that for breakfast every day. You can never have fish for breakfast.
Yeah.
Not in 2021.
Yeah.
Especially not one smaller than your hand.
It's big. It's the size of your hand.
Yeah. Well, it's on the border is what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you clapped, it's bigger. I'm in a weird mood.
Yeah.
So that's me. This guy's got an experience story of he eats a big onion, an egg, baked beans, biscuits, and 2 pieces of fish every day. And that is blowing people's minds. And I fair enough.
If you just found something he
The
likes,
Guardian.
leave him alone.
Well, he lives on a farm in Wales away from a lot of shops.
Right.
So, like, he goes to the shops, but he knows what he wants. He doesn't care about Indian or Chinese, I think he said in the article.
Look, it's the same. It's the same deal as just getting rid of all your clothes and buying like just the same black t-shirt and the same pairs of jeans. It's like I've taken a bunch of decisions out of my day.
But in the same logic, right? There can't be. There's certain meals that I couldn't live without. I think.
Yeah.
There's certain, like, I could eat the same thing every day, but I would still need to have a roast every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, if you had a life without a Sunday roast, I do feel like you'd be a different person.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Yeah.
It's a cultural thing, though, isn't it? That's just being raised in a culture of, you have a roast dinner and it's a regular thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of...
Family
that's
thing,
more,
cheap thing.
I don't know, giving into a craving than actually...
Craving a roast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Don't fry these potatoes. Roast them. That's what I'm craving.
Roast them. Yeah.
I've spoken at length about people I've hated who microwave roasts. So I won't go into that again.
Fucking idiots.
Fuck those people.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me this week.
All right. A mysterious creature hanging from a tree and frightening residents of Krakow, Poland, was discovered to be a croissant.
Oh, God! They're haunting us. They're following us home. Goddamn croissants. Is Poland on the French border? I can't remember.
Yes.
They've escaped...
No, actually, don't quote me on that because geography, and I'm not good at it.
Because geography.
I know.
All right.
There's Poland and Germany and Belgium and France, and they're all roughly in the same smudge on the map.
Smudge. Lots of world wars been fought over that smudge.
Yeah.
Who gets the smudge?
We've got to go to war. Someone's trying to take the smudge.
Yeah. Well, it was trying to lead it into some kind of... They were trying to escape
yeah.
the new sex laws for underage 15-year-olds. Ended up in this tree, and Krakow thought they were being invaded again.
It all started when Krakow's animal rescue workers received an unusual call. An evidently upset woman told them that there was a scary creature sitting in the tree and terrifying the neighbourhood.
That pastry's terrifying.
The caller was so scared that she couldn't describe the thing accordingly. She told them that it was brown and people were so afraid of it that they hadn't opened their windows for days. Why are you watching? People... like,
there's a brown out there. A brown what? Brown?
Yeah. I haven't opened my windows for days, therefore nobody has opened their windows for days. Everybody's scared of the pastry.
Well, just... No, right? Somebody must have gone out to investigate. Somebody. This is what I mean about other society, right? There have to be some people who go out to figure out if it's a croissant or not.
Yeah.
In your community.
She's old,
people.
and maybe lockdown, maybe they don't go out. I don't know. But then
how did the croissant get there if nobody goes out?
Huh?
How did the croissant get there if nobody was going out?
Maybe
right?
that's why they're so scared of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got some kind of like phantom powers.
Yeah. After a short chat, the caller specified that the creature doesn't move and showed no action whatsoever. Then she asked the workers to come and pick it up. It doesn't move. It doesn't at all. But you should come and get it.
It's a tree.
Yeah.
It's got the scent of apricots. It might be infused.
Upon arrival, they saw it and realised that there's no hope for the poor thing. It was brown, as reported, but it didn't have any legs or a head. We already knew that we can't. This is the animal people. They said we already knew that we couldn't help the creature because it's hard to help something that was previously baked.
Yeah, that was the problem with Alaska, wasn't it?
What?
Couldn't save Alaska because it was baked Alaska.
Oh, right.
Melting, climate change.
I understand. Yeah.
There you
go. Yeah. In other news, a woman who bought a £350,000 house next to a busy dual carriageway and then complained about the noise has insisted that she is in fact not stupid.
I'm not.
That was the headline of the thing. Like she said she's not stupid.
I mean, we all know she's pretty stupid, right? But she keeps on insisting she's not stupid.
When they moved in, they were shocked to find out that the sound was absolutely horrendous. She and her husband spoke out about the issues to the press, calling for lower speed limit on the A road, crash barriers to protect their garden, and speed cameras to improve the situation for her and her neighbours in Coleshill, Warwickshire. But she was hit with backlash, with many readers asking what she expected when she moved into a house whose back fence is metres from the road. Jackie said previously that it feels like the house is shaking every time a lorry passes. She has to wear earplugs to bed, is constantly cleaning from the pollution, and feels like she's living next to a motorway. She's living next to a motorway.
I'm not stupid.
I'm not stupid.
It feels like I'm living next to a motorway.
Yeah. It feels like I spent £350,000 on this thing that I knew exactly what it was. Like,
the world will change around me.
Yeah,
The road
it's a
will
dual
lower the
carriageway.
speed.
Like it's like living next to the A500. Like, yes,
Didn't
it's
you
loud.
look at a house that was? Didn't you look at a house that was near a motorway? It had like some land, I think, was like the thing that was nice, but you said it was next to a motorway or something. And it was
so it's
crazy
like
loud.
you're just never gonna you're never gonna sell it, and that sound is always gonna be there. Like, whether you're inside or outside, like that, you don't. I think you don't realize how kind of like loud motorways are. And it's not like the sound of the engines; it's just the rubber on the road. It's just it's loud. It's a constant white noise. Like Vicky's old house was like that. They were like sort of like 200, 300 meters from the motorway, and it was just there all the time.
I mean, are service stations? I've never thought of service stations to be really loud. But I guess it's just, if you're having it all day, every day when you're trying to sleep, that's when you notice it more. Yeah.
If you're at a service station and that, you just like when we were at Vicky's old house, like you just kind of forget that it's there because it's such a presence. It's like if it's like
I've lived on high streets in London, and you phase it out.
It's like if there's a bad smell, like after a few minutes you'll stop smelling it because it's just, well, I don't need to smell this anymore. I know it's here. Like your brain just doesn't bother anymore because it's interested in new information.
The rotting corpse in the cellar is going to be dealt with in a while. So block out that smell for now.
She says, "I'm going to fight tooth to nail to get this sorted out. I'm not moving. Well, I can't because no one will buy the house." Which is fair. Like, I mean, you from the pictures, it's like it's impossible not to see this and not to consider it. Like,
yeah, if the back fence is against a dual carriageway.
Yeah. I mean, like what are you going to do? Petition to have the road moved? Now, I do have some kind of like empathy for her because I don't think you should be allowed to build houses that close to the road. Like, I think you get to a point where I think they said like 85 decibels is kind of deemed what is acceptable, like in the high range. And roads hit like motorways and whatnot, like particularly when there's big trucks and shit rumbling past, are like 110, 115. So like it's always going to be loud, and like so for safety, for the sake of safety and convenience and fucking mental health, you shouldn't be allowed to build houses there. That said, the house was there. She saw it and she bought it.
Yeah, she actively volunteered to live there.
Yeah,
knowing what it was.
I mean,
yeah, whoops, chalk up to life experience, I guess.
Yeah. So, she insists she's not stupid, but it's quite obvious that she is. In a landmark case in Austria, a judge has asserted that farts are not protected under free speech laws.
Well, so if a speech is built okay, someone gives a big speech at a TED talk, and it's just a series of farts, that can be a hate crime.
Well, it doesn't count as freedom of expression, I think they said. It's a fart. It's not a form of communication.
Poetry.
So it's not protected by free speech laws. It was
not a
so there was.
So if you fart out a hate word, then
well, that's the thing. If you have the wherewithal to be able to manipulate it to the point where it sounds like words, then it becomes a form of communication, right?
Wherewithal. if you're a man of such character that you can fart the alphabet. Wherewithal. But yeah, if you can fart a sentence, and that sentence is filled with hate, then you can go to prison. Well, you can go to prison if you say a sentence full of hate. Yeah. If you fart a lovely poem,
right,
then you can go to prison for that, I guess.
Well, it says so. This comes after a man was fined €500 by Viennese police officers for farting. His attorney argued that he should not be charged, not only because it was an accident, but because breaking wind is protected as free speech.
He was trying to talk to you.
Yeah. No, I don't know why you'd fine the guy for farting. I can't imagine, like, unless you're like physically assaulting someone with it. somehow, like shoving their head into your ass while you're doing it or something. I don't know, but like I don't know why you'd fine the guy for farting. And either if you are going to fine him, €500 is like is a bit steep.
Yeah, but again, defending him by saying it's some kind of
But yeah, the free
amendment.
speech thing, it's like
He's protected under an amendment.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, it's harsh, but it's not communicating. It's not speech. But
You can't tweet a fart.
No.
No.
Mr. AB, I don't know, that's his acronym, I don't know why but Mr. AB, the guy that's being sued, apparently agrees. The Vice report notes that while the judge did drop the fine to €100, a bit more reasonable, still not sure.
Still.
Yeah, the defendant intends to appeal anyway, so that this battle may spread upwards into the Austrian courts. It's a matter of principle for us, the man's lawyer said, because it's petty to get a punishment for a fart, which I agree. Like, I think it's... I think maybe there's further circumstances that we don't understand, because it just seems very extreme. But,
it's, I guess, it's probably one of those things where he couldn't find him for anything else.
Yeah.
But we couldn't find evidence for anything else, but the fart evidence was there.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, we can get you on this technicality. You broke the wind, so you broke the law. Go to prison.
Get in the van. Yeah.
Yeah.
So fight the good fight, keep going. Lastly from me, a 12-year-old boy from Colorado has died after partaking in the TikTok blackout challenge.
He blacked out into an oncoming train.
The blackout challenge encourages people to film themselves holding their breath until they pass out. The game goes by other names, including the pass out challenge, the game of choking, the fainting, the fainting game, and speed dreaming. Quick, dream! He's dead. He's dead. That's a big dream.
That's the long sleep.
Yeah, he died. That's the dream.
Doing what he loved.
Yeah. Joshua Haleyis's, that's the guy's name, parents said that he frequently used social media with positive effects, including expanding his passions for cooking, guitar, and acting. Oh. And then he used it to die.
Then he just decided to stop breathing for retweets. All right. You think that's going to help? Then fair enough.
Yeah. Not popular enough to play that game.
Must be weird having social media as a kid, though. So
yeah,
I guess
I've thought about this. Like having, if we end up having kids or anything at any point, I think I like the amount of freedom that I was given as a kid, but at the same time, I also think social media was so new when we were young. Or even then, it wasn't really about when we were young. We had MySpace when we were in, college, maybe?
16, I think. For me, was 14, 15, 16.
But, now that we kind of know the effects of social media and everything, I wouldn't let my kids have it until they were... I'd treat it like alcohol.
Facebook has gotten very aggressive.
Has it?
Very annoying. Because, if you scroll through my feed and a video pops up, if I turn on the audio and it's like, oh, it's something I might want to watch, and then it says, advert coming up, I scroll down, the window goes into the bottom right, so you can't close it, and then the advert tries to play, there's no way of closing the mini box. So you have to scroll up, find where it was, click on, it's a whole pain in the arse.
Oh.
So, Facebook is very much on the aggressive. So imagine they're only going to get more aggressive over time.
Well, I got over that vice. I was properly, zoned in on Facebook for a while. And now I go back to it, briefly now and again if I get, a message or something. And I look at it, I'm just like, how did I get stuck on this? There's nothing about it anymore that's, that appeals to me.
Yeah, I've never gotten the addiction side of social media. I know a lot of people get it. But, I only use it to try and find articles for this, really. So it's just check it and scroll through. But, I've never commented on anything, really.
Yeah.
Or, tried to... Yeah. I see that as society, right? I think that was a thing I was going to bring up a while ago, which was, people trying to change the world for whatever reason. I see it as them trying to do it within the YouTube, or Facebook comments. And it's like, I see that as effective as this. So
Yeah.
rather than trying to change the world, as in trying to argue with YouTube commenters, just be like, that's that part of the world. I'm going to go over here.
Yeah.
So you do that. I'm just going to be here. It seems like a weird.
And it gives you
weird
it gives you a full
vacuum.
sense of the world. Like I think all this fucking woke shit is utter bollocks. But I also think Facebook, like, because of the way that I reacted to things on Facebook, the algorithm was like, oh, he wants to see more of this. So it always gave me the idea of like that more people have fallen for that bullshit indoctrination than I actually thought. Whereas, like, if I speak to people in the real world, they're all just like, yeah, no, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah. Well, I saw comments for when Prince Phillip died. There was live Facebook comments on it, and they were arguing against something that wasn't there.
Okay.
Which was odd. Like, they're all saying, I can't believe how many people are being disrespectful in these comments. And I was looking at it, and there was no disrespectful comments going whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then it was everyone's going to like, rest in peace, whatever comment about him. The people like saying, stop saying horrible things. And it's like, I'm not seeing any horrible things. Maybe I was looking at it in the wrong medium. I don't know. Maybe you have to like expand it to see every comment. But these were new comments coming in.
Yeah.
So it's like people definitely use it just to vent outrage at something.
And that's the thing. Like, there could be like one or two things, but it's like people use that in the same way that that Ofcom uses complaints. Oh, 40 people complained about this thing that this guy said on Bake Off. It's like, that must mean that 400,000 people found it offensive. It's like, no, it's just these 40 people.
Yeah. Ridiculously addicted to their phones or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, Facebook's gotten aggressive. So yeah, I think definitely have to come with a bit more warnings, like alcohol, right? You're like, oh, I'd give alcohol to, kids every now and then. My kids, not strangers' kids.
Yeah.
But like, it would come with a warning of like.
That's the thing. And if there's anything that is addictive like that, and like, but I don't mean, because you can be addicted to anything, I guess, but anything that is purposefully addictive, as in they try and make themselves addictive, should be regulated. Like if you're going to play that game, then there should be like a board of people watching over you, in the same way that there is with gambling, in the same way that there is with like vices, alcohol and smoking and everything like that. If you're trying to create an addictive product, then you should be regulated.
Well, this guy's addicted to a big onion, 2 mackerel every day. Like, should they be government analysed?
Yeah, the
Restrict
onion
the
board.
mackerel. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it comes to a point where you go, how far is too far? But like, yeah, if there's a chemical addictive element in a substance, that should be policed.
It's
in
like
some way.
Like I remember that. What was that? There was a game recently that got sued hugely, and rightly so, because it got a load of kids addicted to it by using loot boxes. It was essentially gambling.
Oh right, yeah.
It was quite a popular one. It's like Call of Duty or something like that. I don't know.
It was Counter-Strike, I think.
Yeah. And they got sued because they were like, you're getting kids addicted to gambling. There's no warning with this. You're not regulated for it. But it's exactly the same with social media. It's the same with Facebook. I think Instagram's trialing some stuff at the minute. They haven't started it over here yet, but I know in Canada and in some parts of the US they've stopped telling you how many likes other people's posts have got. So it kind of cuts that comparison thing, and they've actually found like pretty positive results with it as far as people's mental health and well-being and stuff, because it gets rid of that whole kind of thing that people complain about with social media, where you end up comparing your lives to other people.
Yeah. I mean, there was a bit of a dopamine hit when we did Reddit, when we first started looking at Reddit, and I was roasting people. They were like, oh, these likes is interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like something like that, a bit further down the rabbit hole.
That's it. Well, the trouble with Reddit is that it does get that, but for me, it's only in certain communities, because on the whole, it's a lot of people who are so addicted to that algorithm that they just say stuff that will get them upvotes. But
that's the social media poison, is what we're saying, right?
That's the trouble is that it's kind of infected all of social media. It's the same as Twitter. It's like, I think people say the most extreme, like, left or right bullshit thing that they can say, because that it'll get shown to the right people and give them the most likes, and it stops you. It stops you believing that they're actually real people.
Well, is social media even going to exist in 10 years when, like, because you don't want to see your dad's, high school photos, and, a parent, when they have children, is not going to want their children to see their social media if their social media is still honest. I hate my kids today. That's going to be a post. You don't want your kids to see that, right?
Yeah, no.
So either they're going to move on to a different social media platform, or they're going to blacklist their own children, or they're going to have to change how they are perceived on social media.
Yeah.
So maybe it will collapse when the new generation of parents with genuine social media profiles are going to be shunned by society.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, weird mood this week. Weird mood, so I'm not sure energy-wise it's going to happen. But Body Clock is vaguely coming together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's just taking a while to get used to it. But yeah, consistently-ish, waking up at regular-ish times.
That's good.
So just got to try and police and be a grown-up. Why can't I just be Why can't this be Peter Pan? Well, Robin Williams was Peter Pan and he hung himself. So... So I guess the choices are very limited. Robin Williams, who was also a genie who could grant 3 wishes, hung himself. I loved Robin Williams. I think he's still great. Yeah. But yeah, it's a kind of a philosophical quandary about if you can grant 3 wishes and live as a child forever, you'll just hang yourself.
Yeah.
So don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, be like Robin Williams as long as you can, I guess.
For fuck's sake.